here. Oh, hi guys. I didn't see ya. Didn't expect you either. Alright, so I know a lot of you have been wondering, Cord Kitty, how the heck did you go to 22 furry cons in 1 year? Are you rich? Well, I'm here to tell you right now how I did it. First, you need to know what my living situation was, because that is a big part of it. So, I was living in a 4-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. It cost about $2,300 per month, and I split that between 6 other roommates. So basically the 4 rooms were, so that split the rent into a quarter, and then I had 2 people living in my room. That split up the rent again, so my rent for living in New York City ended up being less than $200. And my job, well, I was a background actor in TV, film, and commercials. Yay! Not in fursuit. I had to be out of fursuit. They didn't want me in fursuit. Bah. I guess they were racist against cats. I think so. And they don't pay a lot. I know everyone thinks actors get paid a whole bunch. No. Background actors get paid about $1 above minimum wage per hour. So, not a lot of money. On average, every day, every weekday, I would get about $70. So, again, doing the math, all it would take is 3 days of work, and that would pay for a full month's of rent. Now, how many days of work would it take me to pay for a furry con? So, in order to find a really cheap hotel room, I have a network of people on my Skype, a very big network. So basically, a few years back, what I did is I added everybody on the Fur Affinity forum who had their Skype. I would say, hi, want to be my friend? And anybody who accepted, I would be friends with. Yay! And as a result, I ended up having probably about 3,000 furries on my Skype. And when you have that many furries on your Skype, you will always find a lot of people going to furry cons. So I asked everyone, what furry cons are you going to? And always a bunch of people going to a bunch of cons, so I kept track of who was going to what cons. And then I asked everybody, hey, could I room with you? And everybody who had some sort of availability, I'd keep track of how much it would cost to join the room, and then I would join the room of whoever gave you the cheapest price. So as a result, the majority of the hotel costs were in between $30 and $60. And of course, to get into the cons, the registration is always very cheap, usually between $30 and $50. So already the expenses for registration and room are less than $100. Now, transportation. There is a service called Megabus. It is the cheapest way to travel in the world. I was literally able to get from New York City to Dallas and back again for $47. Same thing with New York City to Novi, Michigan. I was able to get there and back, $47. Super cheap. The way it works is you have to purchase about 2 to 3 months ahead of time. They allow 1 carry-on and 1 stowed thing, and it has to be less than 50 pounds. I was able to fit my fursuit in a nice big bag that I got from the Salvation Army. So already I could go to one con for less than $200. So I have more than enough money to pay for rent, utilities, and going to furry cons, the transportation, and all that. So yeah, that made cons very, very cheap. There were some cons that I went to that were not accessible via Megabus, and those ones I had to use the airplane, like the West Coast cons for sure. So, and also a lot of you might notice that, hey, wait a minute, Megabus doesn't go from New York City to Dallas. Well, I transferred. I did a lot of transfers. I transferred at the Chicago bus stop mostly, but I also did transfers at the Washington, D.C. stop. Most furry cons are accessible via the Megabus. And the Megabus, it's, got fantastic prices. A lot of times you could get from one place to another. Sometimes you could get from one place to another for just $1. So it is a great service. So that's it. That's how I got to 22 furry cons. And another thing about the acting business, if you're a background actor, you only need to go to work once for one show. They only need you once, pretty much. If you get really lucky and you're part of Core, you get there a bunch of times. But yeah, most of my gigs were about one day, so it was only 1 day commitment, so it gave me the chance to have a very, very versatile schedule. And if any of you are wondering what films I've been in, I have a link in the description to a few of the names. You might have heard of them. A Wolf of Wall Street, Amazing Spider-Man 2, some TV shows, Monsters Inside Me, Law and Order SVU, and also CSI, New York. So thank you everyone for watching. If you want any more tips on how to make sure that your con stay is really cheap, feel free to ask me questions in there. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. See you guys later. Bye-bye.